Hey everyone, Chasta here. Well, we're calling this episode of Soundwaves TV Catching Up or Touching Base. There's been so much going on this summer that we kind of need to come back to the studio, clear our heads, and that's what we're doing. But we're going to have a lot of fun as well. This week, LA-based Finkel will join us in the studio to talk about music, art, and their documentary Islanders. Also, fast-rising rockers Deadly Vices will stop by. And we're going to roll the brand new video from San Francisco rockers The Devil in California. This is Soundwaves TV. Hey everyone, Chasta, Morris, Dennis, it's Soundwaves TV. How you doing? I don't have my coffee. We don't have beers, it feels like.
You know what? With all apologies to Steve and Kirk, it's a coffee day, not
That's
a beer
right.
day.
It is kind of a
me.
coffee day, yeah.
Coffee's good.
After all the things we've done this summer, we need coffee.
You guys well know I've been, tearing up the county fairs and all that.
Yes.
I'm all turkey legged out. I'm all corn dogged out.
By the way, can we talk about that for a second?
Hit me.
Because
Turkey
I
leg?
wasn't, I wasn't on those episodes, and the turkey leg I was watching, and I was like,
And the whole time we were talking about if Chasta was here,
it was so hard to
like
watch.
a tofu leg or something.
Chasta doesn't know about her modern Stone Age family, apparently.
I do not. I know. I was having a moment. But I watched still. That's how much I love you guys. I still watched. I was like, I'll get through the turkey leg. We're good. Anyway.
And then you've got, all the wine garden stuff and all that, going on at the fair as well. So, it's time to rehydrate.
I know.
Get some of that stuff out of your system. And, so the coffee's very
Well, we've
good.
all been to a lot of shows. You saw Shaka Khan.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell us about it.
I would say that this is my first time actually ever really seeing Shaka Khan legit. What I mean by that is, I think I've seen her maybe 10, 15 years ago. She just did this quick little appearance, maybe did a song or two in Oakland, some Oakland festival that's going on. So it wasn't really just about her. This was the very first time I ever saw Shaka Khan. It's all about Shaka Khan, right? We all love her popular songs, but there's a few deep cuts that I grew up with, that my parents played back in the mid 70s when I was a little dude, right? And when she went to those songs, I was blown away that I thought she was going to stick with the Through the Fires and the Shaka Khan and all that stuff, exactly. Her performance was amazing at the Oxbow Theater in Napa. I was so blown. Shaka Khan, and it's you can look this up, so it's okay for me to say she's 70 years old.
Yeah.
She looks 45.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
Not just appearance wise, but just her vocal quality. She can still hit the notes, but no raspiness, nothing. Just pure and clean and amazing. And her backup singers and the whole situation.
Wow.
I was like, wow. Sometimes you think if you wait too long, you might miss these people, especially in their prime.
Yeah.
Especially in their prime. But seeing Shaka Khan, many years removed from, her hit-making heyday, if you will, seeing her up on that stage right there, I didn't miss a beat. And the crowd was so into it, and she really tore it up. She looked amazing. She sounded amazing. You ever get a chance to see Shaka Khan do that, I highly, highly recommend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's clearly taking care of herself. I saw some videos you posted
Living
on
good.
social, and I was like, woo,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
living good.
Then that vibrant thing just pours out.
Yes.
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a very busy summer.
It has. And you both did 4th of July.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so you were at the Shoreline,
right?
Yep,
That's
at the
right.
Shoreline with the San Francisco Symphony.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we were doing very different things that day. You were with the symphony, and I was.
You don't even want to hear what I did on 4th of July. You win in this one.
I was in a dive bar with the Merkins. I mean,
wow.
that was
You win too. You win too.
That's two opposite ends of the
awesome.
spectrum, which I love. Cheers
Cool.
to that.
You're here.
Cheers to that. That's great.
I
But
got nothing. I saw Bow Wow Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not on
that's
4th
cool.
of July, but I went to
Candy.
Retro Junkie. Enrique treated us like royalty. He had
That
a little
place is
table.
awesome, by the
Oh
way.
man!
Oh
yeah,
my
it was
God,
great.
it's so
that place
great.
is
I'll
awesome.
tell you this. I don't mean any offense to Dame Madeline, who is the current lead singer of Bow Wow.
You know what
Wow.
happens when they lead like that.
Right. But she's a jazz singer, I found out. She's, much younger than the guys, and she didn't sing every song. And I was not mad at that. And that's not a diss. It's because when she left the stage, they jammed.
Okay.
And so they would go for like 5-10 minutes and I'm standing there watching this rhythm section, these three guys, and I'm just
Wow.
including with the Lee Gorman, who was like one of the original guys,
Yeah.
just tear it up on the bass. And I was just like,
That's a
the
moment.
whole time, like, whoa, like that's a happy band.
Cool.
Yeah, and I love that when you
Yeah.
can find a happy band. You know what I mean? by
Yeah.
that? Like they're just in the pocket doing their thing, like they're in a garage.
Still loving
You
being
know what
there.
I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
They're
so
still
good.
doing it for
was
the
so
right
good.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful
For the
night.
love.
Thanks to Enrique and Retro Junkie for just treating us like rock stars. It was awesome.
He tends to do that.
Yeah.
He is a rock star. Enrique's so great. I mean, we did an entire episode
We
a
did.
couple
We
seasons
did.
ago with
That's
him
cool.
about
Yeah.
Retro Junkie.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say this publicly. I'm not drunk, more coffee. But I really hope he expands. I know it's
Yeah.
something that he wants to do. He's looked into Sacramento and San Jose. And I just think what he does with Retro is so brilliant because it's that nostalgia piece. You walk in and
Yeah.
like everything feels sort of
I
warm
love
and
that, I love
fuzzy.
that big thing of Prince that
Oh,
you see
yeah,
as soon as
the
you walk
mural.
in. Yeah.
All the murals that have they're all tatted up.
Yeah.
and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun.
So I hope he does that one day because I think we need that in the Bay.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Northern California.
Definitely.
Yep.
So, how was your summer? We now Steve Kirk's got an interesting project. We're going to let him tell you about it actually, and we're going to cut down to him right now to introduce our first video.
Okay, sounds good.
Steve-O.
Hey, thanks, guys. You may be asking yourself, hey, Kirk, what are you doing standing on a sidewalk in Highland Park, California, with a giant chicken dude standing behind you? Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out in 2 weeks on episode 166, our summer vacation episode called Mother Road, Mother Load. But we do have a song for you here. This is Johnny O'Neill with Brand New Day on Soundwaves TV.
Hey, gang, thanks so much for watching Soundwaves TV. Got a lot coming up. We have 2 fast-rising bands that'll join us in the studio, Deadly Vices and Finkel, and we have a brand new video from our boys in The Devil in California. But first, Joe Hawk is going to take it for our Power Pick of the Week. Joe?
Hey, thanks, guys. Joe Hawk here, and, I wish I could be there in studio, but as you can tell, I'm getting ready for the little guy's 3rd birthday, and, I got a special guest here, Cookie Monster. Hey, Cookie, you ready to get crunk at a 3-year-old's birthday party? Yeah? Well, hey, if you're ready to party, here's this week's Power Pick of the Week. We're going to be checking out a new video from Southern California's power pop punk band Odd Robot. And this video is pretty cool. It was filmed down in Newport Bay, California with the assistance of professional divers from Apex Diving Services. And if you look closely, you will see a very special guest in this music video. So here we go. This week's Power Pick of the Week, Odd Robot with Lost Inside Your Ocean.
Free me, I'm lost inside your ocean. It's too dark in here, and salty, my dear. Frighten me, we're headed barracudas. They just won't leave me alone. Center of the soul is an hourglass, soothing my mind like a lullaby. Never will I turn all these sickening tides, holding me searching, lost message in a bottle. This SOS won't send, no transistor radio. Rivers of tears searching for the salty sea foam. Haven't seen land in 17 years. Center of the soul is an hourglass, soothing my mind like a lullaby. Never will I turn on these sickening tides, holding me down. I was out of my mind, adrift and alone at sea. No hope on the horizon. A lonely thought rings true. This can't be it. This can't be all there is for me. Center of the soul is an hourglass, soothing my mind like a lullaby. Never will I turn on these sickening tides, holding me down.
More side here on Soundwaves TV. Glad you guys are hanging out with us. And coming up, our girl Chasta is going to be sitting down interviewing a really cool LA-based duo. Actually, they're married. They're called Finkel. Talking about their brand new music and a new movie they got coming out called Islanders. So stick around for that.
Your home is your biggest asset, and whether to sell or hold is a major decision. David Siplin will help you with the information to make the right call and assist with the sale of your property and the purchase of a new home. Contact David today for an in-person or remote appointment.
Check out Soundwaves TV on all our social media accounts. Deleted scenes, extended interviews, the latest announcements, and official playlist. The Bay Area plays here. Hit us up everywhere at Soundwaves TV.
Please consider helping us continue our mission of lifting and supporting independent music by becoming a Soundwaves patron. In exchange, you'll be the first to see and hear all of our weekly shows, as well as exclusive content. Just go to patreon.com/SoundwavesTV.
Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here. I'm so excited to talk with Finkel. Am I saying it right, by the way? Finkel, not
Yeah.
Finkel.
Yeah.
You are
Okay,
right.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure because I
Yeah.
watched the documentary. We'll get into it. Jane and Brian, how are you guys?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
truly
thank
our
you.
pleasure.
So you just drove up from LA.
We did.
Nice little
Yes.
drive up I-5.
Yep.
But you're far from LA. Like LA's your home now and has been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start in the beginning because where you're from is so much a part of your story and your music. And I'm so excited to dig into that. So let's go back a little bit and start right there.
Yeah. Would you want
Well, we're Michigan kids,
to? Yep.
and which means a lot of different things. But I grew up on an island called Mackinac Island that has no cars and about 500 people, and it's mostly a national forest, and it is just about as different from LA as you can get.
Yes.
And Brian grew up vacationing there, so we most certainly passed each other probably many times
Yeah,
in
I'm
our
sure.
lives. We're destined to
You
be
were
here.
destined.
That's right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So you grew up where?
I grew up in Lansing, so
Okay.
downstate, capital area. If you're familiar at all with the state of Michigan,
Yeah.
And as Jane mentioned, I would go up during summers. You know, the 4-month window that you have to enjoy outdoor weather, and we would go up to the island and bike around. And it's really a pristine, touristy sort of location that completely shuts down during the winter.
Yeah.
And honestly, the winter months are my favorite because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I just got done watching your documentary. I stumbled across you guys because Dennis found you, which is oftentimes the case. He's so great at that. And he
Thanks,
was like,
Dennis.
yeah, these guys have a documentary and it's really, really cool. And I have to be honest, maybe the first band on the show that I've interviewed that had something like that. Most times I'll interview a band where I can't dig up. They're so independent or so local that there's not a lot online to dig up to find. What a nice, refreshing moment to just kick back and go, tell me about Jane and Brian. And it was like all this stuff.
More than you even wanted to know, probably.
Probably.
It was a really interesting time to be filmed because it was the middle of the pandemic and I was personally going through a crisis, emotionally, personally.
Yeah, like the rest of the
and-
world.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
trying to figure out also who I was without working because I was trying to find work and I couldn't, and all of these, different parts of what it is to be an artist. And our filmmaker friends were also out of work.
Yeah.
And so they said, could we make a documentary of you going back and writing this album? And we said, yeah, of course, because we've always used our music as an avenue to highlight the work of other people who we admire.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me until afterwards. It was like, oh my gosh, that means I'm going to be filmed.
All the time, whether I like it or not. Like,
Yeah.
what did I sign up for?
Yeah.
It was fascinating listening. So I listened to a lot of your music first, and then I watched the documentary.
Cool.
And it was so fascinating to then watch the documentary and see, at first, back up. You're a band, and I don't say this very often at all. You're a band I could not put my thumb on. I couldn't figure out where it came from. Most times you hear a band and you're like, I can hear they're influenced by the Stones, or this is over here the Grateful Dead, or this is Shaka Khan, whatever it is. You can pick. I had nothing. I had nothing,
That's
which is a
cool.
great thing.
Yeah, wow.
No one can do that anymore. Like I can't even think of another band where I'm like, I all new, totally new.
We love to let it just take us for a ride and kind of see where it ends up.
Yeah, I can definitely tell. But then I saw the video and you going through the forest and getting sound of, shoes walking through the snow or the leaves or whatever. And all of a sudden I was super inspired to think about the world in a different way and listen to the world. This is a funny story. I told them before we went live here. There's a little orb over my head. I think you can see it right there. And it makes a sound, like a little swooshy sound. And I was sitting in here before anyone got here and I'm by myself and I'm like, I should put that microphone in front of that. It was totally inspired by you guys.
Yes.
What makes you do that? Is it pure curiosity?
That was the first time we'd done it. That
Really?
was
That was the
just
first time.
because all of our projects, all of our bodies of work are, until very recently, are all part of a specific writing workshop with specific parameters that we place on ourselves and then write music within those parameters.
Okay.
And so that was our first time doing that. And we wanted it to be really a true body of work about and for a place that is bastardized is really not the correct word because it feels very negative. But what I mean is that places that are primarily vacation spots are really understood in a Disney World sort of a way, kind of a one-sided sort of a picture. And we really wanted to create something that felt multifaceted and from different angles. And we thought, what better way to do that than to let the island speak
for
to us.
itself.
Yeah.
And we had been transparently building this idea of this docu-series concept since 2018. We were applying for NSF grants. We had a big aspiration to actually go down to Antarctica. We still have a huge aspiration to go down to Antarctica and collect sounds, work with the scientists down there to put together a record that is, kind of akin to some of the topics that we're really passionate about, like the environment. And our entry point into really getting excited about trying to utilize our natural environment to create music and, vis-a-vis us understanding the world to be this really musical place that is often overlooked and
even by us before that.
Right.
And now, like you said, once you turn it on, you really can't turn it off.
can't.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, there's melody in everything that you hear. In every sort of thing that's around you, there's a very specific kind of voice that wants to come out of that sound.
It made me realize that the world is always humming. We're just too busy to listen.
Yes. Yeah,
You
truly. And we had, previous to the Islanders record, I mean, like Jane mentioned, these parameters that we put on our projects, they're all kind of through the guise of getting to get to a point with our creativity that gets us outside of our own heads. We're not just writing another love song. We're not just doing something that is algorithmically driven and benefits, us making it to some stage. We want to actually say something with our art that, and dig a little bit deeper. And, we've done a couple of different projects outside of the sound capture stuff. We worked for our Backpack of Snacks EP. We wore colored lenses for 7 months and tracked music and just trying to see like how our
about a month in each color.
Just for the purpose of understanding, how the world might look differently, and then thusly our creativity might change, and then our output would be different. So we're constantly trying to find new ways to create that expand our worldview.
Yeah. I learned a couple of things about the two of you, and one of them was work ethic. Watching Islanders, the documentary, coming from where you're from, that island, it is so much a part of you in the fact that you have to do everything on your own. You have to almost fight to exist there.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Right? You have to, it's either you pull yourself up by the bootstraps or you freaking don't.
Yep.
And I've learned recently with a couple of different personal moments in my life where I really appreciate a work ethic. And I also equally really appreciate somebody who's willing to take a chance. Yeah. And the two of you do both of those beautifully. Maybe even without second thought. It seems like it just comes natural. You're like, all right, let's go for it, whatever it is.
Oh, there's a lot of thoughts.
Well, you make it look easy.
I think we're also just really scared of the alternative. I think the alternative of not trying is
worse.
Is a really frightening premise, and that's actually we were talking about our song "Slow Down," our new one. That is a note to ourselves about what would happen if we did slow down in some ways and left some time for ourselves, because the alternative to, when you do have such heavy goals, such intense goals and such intense work ethic, it's really easy to put a lot of things aside as well.
Lose yourself for the the go of it all.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that.
I could sleep 4 hours. I don't need more than that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I do.
Nobody needs to eat.
1,000%. I do that all the time in so many ways. And the documentary Married with Slow Down, that song, I'm not kidding, in the first 20 seconds, the lyrics of that song, I was like, oh boy. Like I felt that one in my heart because it's so intense about, what I think about it, I guess I should say. I don't know what your intentions are, but, basically you're consuming in the video, you're consuming so much, and it's all over you. You're wearing it. It's a mess. You're a hot mess. You can't slow down. You're just
panic, right? And sometimes I feel like that in my life. Like I'm trying. This has turned into a therapy session. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Good.
But sometimes I feel so much about that, and it was really nice to hear that in a song and go, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
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 You know, and it's great that translated so well on video and through the lyrics, because you nailed it. I mean, that's exactly how we've been feeling, and a big reason why the song came out so quickly and with ease, just because we needed to say it.
You needed to say it, and you needed to slow down too, and so did I.
Yeah.
All right, tell everyone where to find you, where to see the documentary, and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Well, you can find us at finkelband.com, and all of the stuff is easily available there. Islandersfilm.com has the documentary, and we're all over socials, all over the streaming platforms. So we've hopefully made it easy enough for y'all to find us, even though we're independent artists.
I love it. You're very easy to find. You can watch the documentary straight from the website, which is what I did. It's right there.
Killer, yeah.
I hear a doggy making a noise, reminding us that we have a dog reveal to do. So let's bring out
her little head. She fell asleep under a chair.
She's so cute and so calm. We're in this room on TV doing an interview, and she's just back here hanging out. I mean, da-da-da. Come on. Give it up.
Baby. She's very grunty. Let's see.
We're going to be giving this dog away to the next...
We've never done a giveaway, but here we are.
Right.
Oh my God, she's so precious.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys, truly.
Yeah.
This has been, I'm so excited. It's been spectacular to talk to you, and to watch you guys grow is going to be really fun. We're
Pleasure
very
to meet
excited.
you. Thank you for having us.
So shall we show the crazy video from Slow Down?
Would love to.
It'll hit you in the face, quite literally. It's Finkel, Slow Down. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
Some patience on me before I burn out. Tunnel vision at the orbit before I ever turn around. Mind racing, I calm myself. Tell me it's okay that I don't know what I don't. They tell me I move too fast and I just might crash if the day comes that I don't. We need some time to breathe, okay? Get me the grace I need. Lay my head in a space that's safe. Reminded itself to be nice to me. You got it. Slow down. Slow down, touching the ground. I really think I need to slow down.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast. A world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more information or to get tickets to an upcoming event, go to thelongboardbar.com.
Hey, want to watch Soundwaves TV on your big screen? Head over to the Roku channel store and download our free app, Soundwaves TV. You'll get every brand new episode and archives of every past season. Do it now. We've got your next party covered.
Closed captioning for Soundwaves TV is brought to you by Green Room Music Center, offering rock camp, music lessons, a drum shop, and rehearsal spaces for rent. For more information, go to greenroommusiccenter.com.
Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here with Deadly Vices. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Good to be here.
Dennis actually first found you, and he was like, "Oh, this band's from Pacifica, because you live in Pacifica, right?"
That's right. Yeah.
We're neighbors, and we didn't know it until this very moment. I won't give your address or anything, but you live on an opposite side of town from me, so that's why we haven't run into each other. So, Deadly Vices, how did you all come to be? We've mentioned Pacifica, friggin' Colorado. Like, how did this band form? When, where, why, and how?
Well, we used to be doing Seattle.
How much time do we have?
All the time in the world, though.
We used to be doing a Seattle Big Four tribute called Seattle's Best.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I love it. Yes.
So we were doing obviously all cover bands, covering Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, and Pearl Jam.
Mm-hmm.
And the pandemic came around and kind of shut that down. And not to provide the cliche pandemic story, we had so much time on our hands.
Yeah, well, it's everybody's story. Is what it is.
That actually is what happened. And we decided to, we were not doing anything with gigs. He had moved away to Colorado. We figured we can do stuff remote, and we did. And we went to work with a producer by the name of Kane Churko. He's produced Five Finger Death Punch.
I was just going to say, that's who I thought it was. Yeah.
Some other big names. And
that's awesome. How did you get, not to cut you off, but how did you get in touch with him? How'd that relationship work?
Anthony's persistence.
Okay.
Mostly.
That's great. You got to have that.
It was kind of one of those things where we were like, we should find a producer. Do you know a producer? No. Do I know a producer? No. So it was just like email spam. And actually, since I was in Colorado, we're trying to find a studio that was halfway between. Mm-hmm. So we thought Vegas.
Yeah.
And then we, researched Vegas studios, and his name came up. And, with those things, just getting a response is never guaranteed. So he responded, and I wasn't really that familiar with who he was. Mm-hmm. And then when I went and looked him up and just saw the things that he's done, started listening to the radio, paying attention to who produces what, it's like, wow, this guy has a lot of stuff on the radio. Yeah. And so, he really just kind of took us under his wing, to be honest. He just happened to be during COVID, in the middle of COVID, there wasn't a lot going on at the time.
Yeah.
And
he actually wasn't busy. He wasn't actively working on a band that was in a between touring cycles, releasing stuff.
Yeah. So the universe worked out in your favor. Yeah. Like, boom, this is the moment in time where you can grab them.
That's right.
That's very cool.
And we, of course, knew of Kevin Churko, his dad, who produced the Slash solo album that I really loved.
Which
and
I love,
a couple Ozzy albums. Yeah. And just some amazing stuff.
That's cool. We have to get you on a bill with Stateland Empire, because their bassist, Scott Proctor, is Five Finger Death Punch. He's their guitar tech, and he does their backup vocals. So it's like a whole full circle moment there.
Done.
It's all about making these connections in the music industry. I'm curious, though, you have almost a bigger like arena sound. Like a really full, like it doesn't have the full on grunge. It has more of like a full boasty big arena sound. Is that what you're going for, or is that just what's coming out?
I think with Kane, we realized we wanted to kind of do the old stuff, but also we wanted to bring it modern.
It's like a modern twist on it.
So he actually did more than produce the songs. He kind of educated us on, it's like, what level do you guys want to play at? If you want to do your kind of artistic throwback stuff, we can do that. He was totally open to that. But if you want to be like more kind of marketable, more radio ready, and so he was the one that brought that to what we were doing. And really, I think every band goes through this, is where we had probably 20 songs ideas, and he was like he picked the ones that he thought would be marketable, and he kind of brought the sound out.
That's a good lesson to learn.
It's like what's the biggest version of you guys, of what you guys want to do.
And if you're gonna have him, you might as well let him do his thing.
For sure.
Why hire the guy and then handcuff him to say you have to sound like 1990?
That is so well said. But that's also you sort of taking off your armor, right? And letting your ideas and your ego go and trusting somebody that you really don't know. You're trusting who he's worked with in his resume and his experience, certainly. But it is a chance. I would say you're definitely putting a lot of trust into somebody.
And it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. It was like because when you're in there, you don't know how it's going to turn out. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit of a leap of faith, but he had educated us enough to where we trusted him.
Yeah.
And so the
it paid
results turned out, better than we could have imagined.
Really genuine dude and really reliable too.
Yeah.
In the music business, there are so few reliable people. He shows up on time, works really hard, and we learned a ton from him.
That's very cool. Yeah. I mean, I would ask you, what are your goals in 2023? Because we talk a lot on this show about how the industry sort of ebbs and flows, and it's completely different than, you brought up Slash earlier, doing a solo album and all that. When he was up and coming, this is a very different industry. So how do you set goals, and what does it mean to the two of you to sort of make it in 2023? I know that's heavy. Take your time.
Take that one.
We can talk about this stuff for days, so don't. Yeah. I would say the goal for 2023 is just for people to know who we are.
That's fair.
That's number one. I think when we started, I think the goal was maybe a little different. I don't know if every band does this, but it's like our stuff is good, so we, we'll be successful just because kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But when that doesn't happen out of the gate, it happens maybe 1 in a million, 1 in a couple 100,000 that a band will just come out of the gate and hit for whatever reason. Yeah, and so I think for us is just for people to know who we are. Yeah. Get the name out there. We're both pretty financially secure, so we're not trying to make money. It would be nice if we could get it to a place where it kind of sustains itself.
Yeah, sure.
Because right now we're all, self-funded.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I think what you just said, pretty much make sure that it can get in front of the right ears. Maybe that's doing some radio promotion or some PR stuff to kind of push it out there. To
Interviews.
People who can kind of push it out there and maybe get it in front of maybe in the right ears pretty much. But we don't necessarily have streaming goals. Obviously you want people to listen to it. Yeah. But if we could get a push from the right people at some point, that'd be great. Otherwise, I will say it is just nice to get your creation out there. And like you were saying earlier, setting everything up ahead of time to know that you kind of maximized what it can do.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. And what you just said is a real good goal of honestly, I feel like a goal, if I were in a band, and hell for Soundwaves, is just to get people to stop the scroll. Just to stop for a second and see the art that you're making, whether it's this show, your music, whatever it is. It's like if you could just grab somebody's attention. It's funny because you have this song Notice Me that's so powerful, and video that's so powerful about Notice Me, because social media can be so awesome to connect you and to expose great art, but it can also be this desperate search for attention. It's got multifaceted situation going on, Jekyll and Hyde kind of.
That's why I let him handle the social media. Yeah. Most of the time you can find me right down the street at Rockaway in the water.
Yes. Okay, that's fair.
And he's handling the social media.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges before the band thing. We weren't even on social media.
Yeah. It forced your hand.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
And now I'm over here like this, are we getting likes? Are we getting follows? Are we growing? You want to always be growing, but
sure.
It's kind of a multifaceted thing, and us just being here, sitting here with you, and you mentioning hey, you guys should do a show with State Line Empire.
Yeah.
Just getting those kind of opportunities, getting people to know who we are.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really have any goals beyond that.
Yeah.
When you first start, because we just started.
You're coming out of the gate at this point. I mean, that's what we feel like our job is
here is to connect bands, to make those bridges between bands and to help everyone rise up together. And the more, I mean, in my opinion, and Dennis and I talk ad nauseum about this, the more bands care about each other, the whole scene rises. And going back to 90s in Seattle, that's why that happened, is because those bands were living in a bubble. They weren't paying attention to the rest of the world. They didn't give a flying F. They went to each other's shows, and they were helping push each other, and that matters. So that's definitely what we're here for. And anytime we can help do that, then we've won.
Yeah, no, I'd say in that regard, you guys are pretty rare.
Yeah.
Because there's still a lot of gatekeeping that happens.
Sure. Yeah.
If you're anointed, kind of everything gets by, but if you're not, and it makes sense because there's a lot of bands that aren't serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not serious. So we're just trying to kind of separate ourselves from those, and also have some sort of a plan and some consistency with what we're doing. That's why we're putting a single out every couple months.
Yeah. Keep that train going, right?
Yeah.
Keep feeding the monster, feeding the beast.
Here we are again.
Yeah.
This one's a little different.
Yeah.
But it's always bringing that professionalism. If you look at our album covers, people don't see the work that goes into it, but it takes a lot of work. Our logo was kind of there was some struggles that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And hopefully that pays off.
Your most recent single, Loaded Gun, man, that would terrify me. If I were single, I would not want to be on a dating website dating a female. You listen to the lyrics, you're like, holy she's crazy.
I was like, is there something I should know about you and Kelly?
I've dated the male version of that, though, I will say. So, we all have one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely not gender specific.
Yeah, it goes
not
both
gender
ways.
Specific.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, we know crazies on both sides, but it is so well done. All right, so what's next for you? Where do you hang out most on social media?
Instagram, probably. Yeah, we're not so much on the TikTok yet. We're trying.
Don't do it. Don't.
There's a lot of good young energy on TikTok.
There is. Yeah.
It gets a bad rap, but there's people who are hungry for music, and people who may not be familiar with our genre even, who are checking us out on TikTok.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Facebook, YouTube. We have a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Definitely the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And because it's just such a huge part of the game, please stream us on Spotify.
Yeah, it is.
Every stream counts.
Every stream
counts for 0.0003 cents, folks.
Thank God you both have great
thank
jobs.
you.
I'm just going to say that, right? We all know about streaming. All right, so what video are we going to play? What did we decide here? Downriver?
We're going to play Downriver.
Downriver.
Let's do
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
so you've got Deadly Vices, Downriver. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for
really
having us.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate
Awesome.
you.
You guys
Thanks,
are
Chasta.
fantastic.
Thank
We'll
you.
be seeing more from Deadly Vices. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
There's a rain
SoundwavesTV.com is your official home for Soundwaves merch. From coffee mugs to a variety of barware, my favorite, hats, exclusive tees, and the exclusive Soundwaves commemorative challenge coin. Get all your shopping done at SoundwavesTV.com.
The official Soundwaves beer, Into the Groove, is available on tap and in cans at Devil's Canyon Brewing Company in San Carlos. From beer Fridays to live performances, a tasting room, and a beer garden, your next party is at Devil's Canyon.
If you'd like to be considered for airplay on either Soundwaves FM on 107.7 The Bone or right here on Soundwaves TV, all you have to do is go to 1077thebone.com/Soundwaves, drop a link to your music, submit, and that's it. As simple as that. You know, it's kind of like the movie Airheads, except you don't take anyone hostage.
You guys are crazy, man.
What's up, Morris Knight here on Soundwaves TV. Glad you guys are still hanging with us. And now we've come to that part of the show where we got our final video coming your way. It's brand new from our friends called The Devil in California, celebrating their 10th anniversary, doing their thing together, man. I mean, how many other bands that you know have been around for that long, right? So much props to those guys. So check it out. It's their new self-titled album that's on the way. This is The Devil in California, Through the Flames.
Native, the other brother's lord. Always wanted what's haunting you, unsettled score. Sits alone, a father and son. haunted, what's haunting you? Unsettled score.
Hey, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. We are almost out of time, but a couple of programming notes, actually. We're going to go every other week from now to the end of the year. We usually do a weekly thing, but we're going to change it a little bit because we have some big things to share with you, and there's only so much bandwidth.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the real
and to
talk.
do these shows the right way, we have to take a little extra time to make them special. But you will soon find out.
So going back to the conversation about going every other week, we also kind of want to have like a confession moment about YouTube right now.
Ah, yes, right.
So here's the thing. With Soundwaves, we've always sort of relied on real TV, whatever you want to call it, or the Roku channel. And so we've never really had to prioritize YouTube. Never. It was always kind of like, oh, we'll dump our stuff over here, but never really prioritized YouTube. But we're going to start doing that now. And we need to start doing that now. So we ask you, follow us on YouTube.
Yep.
You know, when we
Do all the
post
things,
those,
ring
do
the
all
bell,
the things.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah.
Viewers want to know why we haven't prioritized YouTube.
Well, because we had a Roku channel. First, okay, if we're really being honest.
Yeah, we're being honest.
Because we started off online and our numbers were awesome. And then we ended up on a TV station, Coffee TV, in the Bay Area, we're talking.
Where?
He's
And
triggered.
back.
He's triggered all of a sudden.
And we did well there too. Thank you very much for following us there. But our online numbers went like this, but then we were 20,000 people a week were watching us, and that was wonderful until Coffee flipped formats. And then we started getting like, hey, it's too bad you guys aren't doing your show anymore. We're like, we are doing the show.
Yeah.
And over on our Roku numbers, they've always been strong because that's like national, global.
Yeah.
So people elsewhere continue, we do well there. So YouTube, you know, you got 40 people watching a show or less. It's not, you know.
It's not what you want.
It's like, I don't even want to tell people about YouTube. Because, but now we are. So we're asking you to like come on over and follow and help us build up the
Basically,
YouTube
we're shining the light in the corner of the sticky situation and going,
That was
look.
way too much honesty.
No, I appreciate it. I love it. Like,
Those are the parts. Those are the juicy bits that the viewers want.
I agree.
They want the drama.
You know, it's like it's the chicken and the egg. Like you don't
Right.
want to acknowledge the small numbers, but you got to if you ever want to ever grow, and that's where we're at.
There we are.
So
There
here
we
we are. We're going to grow on YouTube.
Help us
starting
grow.
Help us
right
grow.
now. Exactly. All right. So next week, hanging out at the bottom of the hill with the dolly rods.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
And
Cool.
the dolly tots as well. The little ones.
Definitely.
The wee little ones.
Yeah.
And we're going to welcome my new girl crush.
Yep.
Zuzu from the band Soraya, Philly-based band. She's
Mm-hmm.
in Jersey right now, but between Jersey and Philly, literally got off a delayed flight to come here to
Yes,
chat with us.
yes.
So it's a great chat. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
definitely.
Some autographage.
It is. I went to the show and she scribbled all over an album for me. So
Good.
Love it.
Zuzu is awesome. We're going to leave you with a little bit of Soraya right now, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.